What's going on, everybody? It's another edition of the NRW Checkpoint with your host, WebsterStyle, and of course, Brian Sapph. Brian, how you doing today, sir?
Doing okay. How about yourself?
Doing all right. It's been a long day for me, but it's a short list of games that came out this week.
Fantastic.
There's nearly count on one major release this week. And
I
if
know
you're
it.
watching this video, you probably know what it is. It is Hogwarts Legacy, which released for the PlayStation 5, Xbox S, and X, PC. The versions for the PS4 and Xbox One to be out in April, and the version for the Switch will be out in July. Now, this is an RPG, an open world wizardry action RPG, developed by Avalanche Software and developed or published by Warner Brothers. Hogwarts Legacy is an open-world, single-player action role-playing video game set in the 1800s Wizarding World. So it's set way before Harry Potter, set way before Fantastic Beasts. So the story has players experiencing life as a student at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry like never before, as they live the unwritten and embark on a dangerous journey to uncover a hidden truth in the Wizarding World. Now, one of the things about Harry Potter, though, especially when you think of the Harry Potter movies and then the Wizarding World, not Wizarding World, but Fantastic Beast,
Right.
is that when you're at Hogwarts, you never know what time period you're in.
Right.
So I think that's really fantastic that they can go to the 1800s, and it is, you're still in Hogwarts. It's still that same universe, that same world. I think that's one of the good things about the way the school is. It's like out of time, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's a whole little bubble and not really trapped by sort of modern design or the modern placeholders to let you know what time period is in.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's a part of the lore, actually, like the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, which is not the only school in
Right.
the Harry Potter universe, or the Wizarding World, I should say. Yeah, they kind of, a part of the lore is that they're not like bound by like the laws of Muggle time.
Right.
So they operate different. They have creatures and things there that have been alive over hundreds of years, and that's a normal lifespan for like a goblin or a troll or something like that to live to be what's 1,000 years? What do they call that? What's the fancy word for that?
A century?
Yeah, there we go. Oh, man, I knew that too. Anyway, yeah, that's a part of the thing. It's a place that kind of defies the laws of
Right.
earthly human time and space.
Right. So the game itself is filled with immersive magic, putting the players at the center of their adventure to become a wizard or a witch by the choices that they make. Obviously, RPG. They will grow their characters' abilities by mastering powerful spells, brewing potions, and harvesting magical plants. They face off against deadly enemies. Players will also encounter quests and scenarios that will pose difficult choices and determine what they stand for. Now, this game has been reviewing quite well from both players, those who played it, as well as critics.
Yes, and I can officially say that I am a player of the game, and it has been, well, I only got through creating my character in the first like opening sequence, explaining everything. I've been sorted into my house. I'm a Slytherin, like I should have always been. I already knew that was gonna happen because you can do that beforehand. Like this might be something new for people. Maybe not. If you're aware of Hogwarts and, the Wizarding World and stuff like that, then they have their own like dedicated website and application or whatever. You can sign up. It's pretty much like a fan club thing, but you sign up to get sorted into a house and get a wand and a Patronus and everything. Now, being that the world of the Wizarding World property is owned by Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers is in the gaming space now. You connect your PlayStation account and your Warner Brothers gaming account, and it'll transfer like your Harry Potter data to the game so that you have it like as soon as you start. It's a cooler incentive for people who are like really interested in the actual lore and things of Harry Potter. You get like a free robe, and you get to use your wand that you got sorted into. I mean, your wand that chose you, and then your house you got sorted into. It's pretty cool. They did a lot to make this game like interactive and immersive and connected to all of the other properties that are, you know, spread about the different platforms that you can access them on.
That's awesome. I think one of the things with this game is just that it's so immersive, and what I've seen and what we'll see when we watch the trailer shortly is, you know, and then that, you know, this is literally like the game everybody is wanting when it comes to Harry Potter and that world. And I think I think I've said to you before, like, I like Harry Potter. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Harry Potter, but I totally get and understand why something like this resonates with just the fan base and that immersiveness. And it looks like that they deliver. And on a side note, the fact this is Avalanche software, and if I remember correctly, they are also doing that game Contraband with Microsoft as an exclusive. If this is garnering this much attention, this much praise, I'm excited to see what they do there and other places.
Me as well. I mean, Avalanche, I believe I've played games from them before. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. They're not a new studio. And I think Portkey Games is also attached to this project as well. But yeah, if it's any indication of what's to come for Avalanche, then they got a pretty big it was a good move to be a part of this game, because it literally is the game everybody's wanted from Harry Potter. It's something incredibly special about just the story and the characters that surround it, because I don't know, if you ever felt like a misfit or out of place, or if you ever felt like a minority, then the story of Harry Potter is literally like about you. So it has an appeal to everybody, and JK did a great job writing it, despite, you know, her controversial reservations. That's another topic, but the game is dope from what I played so far, and I think I'm gonna continue to enjoy it. I definitely know as soon as I close this laptop, I'm gonna be hopping on the play, because I just got into my comment room and I'm like, oh man, so many people to talk to, these little NPCs. And that's something dope that they did. If I'm not mistaken, the NPCs, they don't repeat themselves. So every time you talk to them, they say something new, no matter how many times you do it, which is awesome. Interesting. Yeah, it's interesting, because how many voice lines do they have to record to make that a thing? But
you know, this is when I don't get upset when games are delayed and pushed back.
Right.
At least if they push it back and you actually get a good game out of it, instead of being pushed back, you still get a crappy game that still has to be patched on day one. There is no reason that these games should be patched on day one.
Right.
But that's a whole nother topic. But
right.
All right, so let's get into the trailer.
In light of
this for you is all what you've seen already.
Joining us as a fifth year, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your safety.
Well, not so much this stuff, because this is like the trailer, but
a lot to absorb on your first day.
Can't believe I'm here.
Yeah, it's not gameplay footage.
Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum.
You have much to learn.
You have the benefit.
Even from the trailer, looks like
of witches and wizards to guide you.
Everything a Harry Potter fan would want.
A surprised opponent is a weaker.
Yeah, man. Like
they will test your abilities, both
really
innate and learned.
I am wary of how much time the new fifth year seems to be spending away from the castle.
No need for theatrics.
Like the
I'm here for this one anyway.
What do they want with a Hogwarts student?
Yeah,
I have a rare ability to see whispers of ancient magic. extraordinary. It's a powerful magic.
Because everybody knows that there's a process. Get your letter, go to the school via the train or some other way, or flying something
I
flying
don't
you
know
there.
where it leads.
Your mom picks you. Then you get into the mystery and adventure. And for those of you watching who are, on the fence about the game,
I'm afraid.
it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. And
I've ensured we have a moment to ourselves.
the early access is going on right now. So, a little extra money. I think it was
Let's even hard, shall we?
$80. Either way, $79.99. The early access, they give you these cool little things, these incentives for playing early, which is fun.
Right. And then there's a distinctive PlayStation mission or something like that too, right?
Yeah, if you do the early access pre-order, it comes with some cosmetic stuff, some clothes and things. You get access to the Dark Arts Arena, which is a battle arena where you can actually kill other witches and wizards in the game.
Okay.
Which, that's supposed to be forbidden in the world of Harry Potter, but we're in the 1800s right now, so yeah, they allow it, I guess. And then there's a exclusive mission that PlayStation owners, PlayStation owners get the chance to partake in.
Yeah, I find it very interesting because it's so immersive. We're going to get a little bit into that with this next clip. Just part of it as far as picking the wand. But I saw some video of just a character creation, and I was sitting there and I was just amazed at the level of detail you.
I think WebsterStyle has frozen. He got a spell cast on him, Brian, over there.
Right.
He
I'm
just
looking. I thought, like, is it me?
Spell casted on.
I'm not petrified.
Yeah, sorry, glitch. To really address the players and the players' needs and desires, I just find that really, really amazing, and really hats off to them and a lot of the other teams from a lot of the more recent games that are really taking a lot of those things to heart as far as accessibility, as far as customization, representation. I really applaud them, especially on that level of detail with the customer creation, but the character creation. But speaking of creation, and one of the most vital parts of being a wizard is your wand and making that wand distinct to you. So we're gonna, in this next clip, just watch a little bit of that picking a wand sequence and that wand customization that they have there, which is really robust as well.
Dope, right? Which I have not made it to this portion of the game yet. Like I said, I'm very, very early in. When you start the game, they give you like a loner wand.
I'll be right with
professor you're accompanying or that's accompanying you. And
just a moment, please.
Yeah, you use that until it's like actually time to pick your wand.
Hello, sir. I'm looking
for a new wand. Yes, it's about time.
Yes, about time.
Well, you're our new fifth-year student, are you not? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you are. Gerbold Ollivander's the name.
You know.
But of course, you'll have heard of the Ollivanders, I'm sure. Finest wand makers in the world. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I love the voice acting, just from the little bit I'm hearing.
Yeah, they did a really good job. And even like with this, like Ollivanders, obviously people know is like the shop in the wizarding world where you get your wand. But because this is the 1800s, as opposed to when Harry Potter, steps onto the scene or whatever. The Ollivander that we meet in the Harry Potter's time is not this Ollivander. Obviously, it's a family tradition thing, and they just keep passing the story down from family member to family member. But it's really, really dope. Yeah, and that's the system that you need to play it on, guys.
Once more, come on, really swish it. Oh dear.
That's how you know right there.
This
Not
isn't
for you.
all, is it? We'll find you something, not to worry. No, not you.
And it's really incredible how like detailed the Harry Potter world or the Wizarding world is in general.
Inches,
Right.
string.
I don't know if you can tell, but like the boxes that he's picking up, they are green because this character is in Slytherin. But the sorting hat sorts based on like their actual personalities and attributes.
Back to the
And
show.
they kind of do the same thing. They're crafted based on like the kind of people that they want to attract and be in service to. So it's really cool like how they like design everything. And the Harry Potter was like meant to be a video game. It should have been a long time ago.
You know, when you really say it like that and you actually get a game like this, that makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah.
But I guess we had to get to this point where we can actually make a game.
Might be the one.
Right.
And technology can get to a point where they can actually make a game that is an immersive experience in this world.
Right. Because they've tried before and those games weren't terrible. It's just, I think this is the one. I think we finally got the technology we need to have the game we want.
Right. So this is just an example of the robust lawn customization system. And it's, just really amazing. Now, one of the things I want to say about this game, which I'm absolutely happy about, especially considering all of the news we've gotten in the past 2 weeks, I am glad that Warner Brothers, and I say Warner Brothers, didn't force them to make this into a live service game.
Yeah. And, honestly, I feel like just based on the way things are moving, this might end up being that at some point. There's going to be some aspect to the game in the future where, other characters or your friends are going to be able to join in, or it's going to be like a live thing in the future. But
that's fine.
Yeah,
but that's not the base gameplay, and that's not what you built everything around. Like all of these other games, that's what they built on. And now they're all dead and dying.
Right.
So so I'm happy about that.
Me too. I'm really. I feel like, because if I'm not mistaken, I want to say one of the Final Fantasy games did this, where they started off as a RPG and then eventually they added like a live service feature to it. I could be mistaken. Of course, people will correct me if I'm wrong. But
I'm not familiar, but I don't know everything. So,
But I really hope that's the direction that they take. Just because the Wizarding world is so, like you said, robust, and there's so much to do. Like there's a scene. This is a little spoiler, but you guys will get to it. It's literally in the beginning of the game. There's a scene where the current headmaster of Hogwarts is like, Quidditch is canceled or whatever, for whatever reason that's happening right now. And you know anything about Quidditch, is pretty much like their version of football or soccer, depending on what part of the country or the world you're from. And that in itself could be like a standalone thing that has like an actual live service element to it. And I feel like that is them like kind of giving a little nod to it, like it's coming, guys. You're gonna be able to do Quidditch like against each other in the future.
And that's fine though, but that's not like what the game is built off of. That's one of the things. Like if you have a component of the game that is like that, so that if it doesn't do well and you gotta shut it down, the whole single player game doesn't go away too. Like the games that have had that happen to recently. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. Not just Avenger, with Crossfire X, that whole single player is going away, even though because it's tied to the online.
Right.
Games as a service. I'm like, it makes no sense. Anyway, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Harry Potter, or I should say Hogwarts Legacy is not a live service game. Now, since there are obviously no other games this week, there are a few games. One we talked about last week, and the other we talked about the week before, that we didn't watch trailers for, that we were very much interested in getting the trailers on the show, watching them, and kind of looking at them. And the first one is We Were Here Forever. And this was released back on January 31st on the PlayStation and Xbox. So basically all the PlayStation, all the Xboxes.
Right.
Game is there. So we're going to check that one out first. And this is on PC for a while. So it's making its console debut. And it's very interesting. I believe it's 2-player co-op sort of 3D puzzle, first-person puzzle game. So, puzzle as in you got to escape the dungeon. If I remember.
Okay. Finally, have you been waiting? Oh, I think I've seen people play this before.
Have you not
on
read
Twitch.
what has been foretold?
I know I watched this trailer and I keep asking,
And women
is this in VR? Because this even the angle and the kind of the art style just reminds me of, hey, this could be a VR game.
Right. It could. It really could. Because it's not much. I mean, it's not like a first-person shooter or anything like that. You literally just in first-person mode.
would have us trapped forever. But outside this keep lies freedom.
I think it would do good as a VR game, honestly. Especially
it
if
looks
the
like
co-op
it would.
feature is pretty fluid and does well.
Right.
Yeah, that looks
Yeah,
good.
I agree. So next up we have, and Brian, I sent you a link earlier today of the spot I saw in the airport during my travels. Basically, it set up a gaming lounge and a couple of them. And it was pretty reasonably priced. It was $16 for a half hour. I forget how much for an hour, but they had PC set up,
Okay.
Series S's, PlayStation 5s, PlayStation Plus Ultimate, as well as Game Pass. You can sign in with your own system. And I was tempted, and then I remembered, I brought my controller with me. So I just set up my phone and played the next game we're looking at while I was waiting for my fighting game. And that game is the game we talked about last week, kind of in spoiling Forspoken's thunder, or I guess Forspoken kind of spoiled his own thunder, really.
It did, which still high hopes for it.
Yeah. But let's check out the trailer for Hi-Fi Rush, which released on Xbox back on January the 26th.
Which I've been hearing nothing but good things about this game.
Yes.
I really want to play it.
That's
I don't
me.
know
And you're probably wondering how
if
I
it'll
ended up.
come to PlayStation.
Well, it's pretty standard.
No,
I really
Brian, I
want to
told
play
you, $1. First month is $1.
Music player
it. Yeah, you did tell me that. You're right.
powering
You're
up my
right.
new
First month's $1. Play it on your PC.
everything
You're right.
synced up with the beat. Let's
Oh
rock.
no, it's on Switch too, right?
It's awesome.
No,
No.
Italy Technologies isn't just coming from my arm. They're after all of us.
I really like games that have this like type of battle system, like combat style. Like, it reminds me of Devil May Cry and Kingdom Hearts. Like just
yeah.
The name's
the
Chai.
way you fight in it.
Effect.
Is this the guy?
We'll take down this
The
company.
one thing that I'm really enjoying about it is really good to get in and get out gameplay.
Just so you know, they're
Like,
insane.
just the way it saves, it's really you pick back up where you left off.
I'm glad games are finally like stepping into that. Like, you don't have to be at a save point or a checkpoint. Like, just let me cut the console off and come back when I'm ready.
I mean, there are checkpoints and save points, but they're so often that you don't even know it. And I don't even know that because, like, when I was playing today, I literally died, and it continued. And my point was literally like 3 steps from where I died from.
That's good.
future.
I can't think of who this kid looks like, but it's another character who he looks like, and I can't place the name. But
I'm just so amazed how this literally looks like a Saturday morning cartoon.
and that's another thing. The art style is really, really fun and colorful, and it just, I don't know, it's something endearing about it. I really want to play that game. I really want to play it.
It's very endearing.
Yeah, he just seems. What is this? This
I think I know what you're talking about. I can't place either, but it is reminiscent of some other character. I totally understand.
Yeah, and it's going. This is really gonna just.
You'll remember afterwards,
right?
Brian, that's how old age works. You remember after you need it.
right. Absolutely, I'm with you on that.
So, all right, so that's our take on Hi-Fi Rush. Again, nothing else came out this week. So, Brian, what are you talking about this week?
Well, I put out an episode like a week ago for my podcast here, the older DCU stuff, which I'm really excited about that. If you didn't hear my voice, this episode I'm probably going to talk a lot about Hogwarts Legacy because I'm really enjoying the game. I really appreciate the customization of features that they did for the characters and things like that. Like Black people, they did us right. We look great. There's plenty of hairstyles, all of which Black people actually wear. There's not.
That's good.
Yeah, so like there's things in there. Got fro, got dreads, got cornrows, got Caesar, got all kinds of stuff. It's dope. So that'll pretty much be it. Oh, and for those that are like, not sensitive. What's the word I want to use? I don't know. Either way, they did a really good job in not making people feel like they have to choose between male and female. Like if you pick, you can pick to be a witch or a wizard, no matter what your character looks like. And instead of it labeling like, oh, female voice and male voice, is like voice 1 and voice 2, and you can pick whatever you want to pick. They really thought it out, and I'm excited about that. So I'm probably spend most of my time on the podcast talking about that. Other than that, you probably won't see me or anything I'm doing because I'm gonna be in the game.
Exactly.
That's pretty much it.
I feel you. I just dropped 142 of the Sartorian Geek podcast as of this recording yesterday. It was yesterday. Or was it? No, actually, technically, it was early this morning, like 3 hours of the morning.
Okay.
But I also was talking about the slate from DC Universe, and I'm very excited about that. I'm more so excited because it's different. One of the things I've seen people, maybe lambasting is too strong of a word, but kind of coming down on it. And I said to someone, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect to have different results. Right. And let's be frank, how many times can we see a Batman movie?
Right.
Until you do something different. Now, mind you, Matt Reeves' Batman did something different. It's like a year one Batman, but it's a grittier, but it's still a Batman movie.
Right.
At least Brave and the Bold is Batman and Robin, and then with his homicidal, psychopathic child as Robin, which is really the key point there. In the Swamp Thing film, I've never read The Authority, but just the fact that that's so out of left field, this is what I'll say about that.
Mm-hmm.
I am not saying that James Gunn is emulating Marvel. I'm not saying that at all.
I don't think he is.
No. I don't think so. What I'm saying is Marvel used a playbook on parts because they had no choice, but they used characters that were not household names, really only Captain America, but Captain America wasn't a heavy hitter. Iron Man was C-list before the movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that they've done, especially the initial first phase, nobody was like a big, humongous, except the Hulk. The Hulk was probably the most well-known of all those characters.
Yeah, that first run. Yeah.
Right. But it allowed them to create their own stories. And that's more so where I'm going with this. The Authority, not saying they won't stick to the source material, so few people know about the Authority that they can do pretty much what they want within that universe and still kind of stick to that core. as far as I'm concerned. And even with a Booster Gold or even with, well, maybe not so with Supergirl. I'm interested in seeing Supergirl. I'm not familiar with the book that is based off of, but we've seen so many other iterations of Supergirl. I'm interested in this one here in the description. So they're doing different things, which is excellent. I think what's needed for DCEU. So DCU, excuse me, not DCEU. Right. So I need to listen to you, and y'all need to listen to me and listen to us get our take on the DC universe. And also I got a sample of Armani Code for the Toilette, which I reviewed and wore the other day, which it's not bad. But when you smell the eau de parfum first and then you smell the EDT, it's hard going back. I'll put it that way.
Took you away, huh?
Because the parfum has this very good iris note. Okay. That is not in the EDT. So you smell the differences because of that. But this is not my podcast. This is Nerds Rule the World, the NRW Checkpoint. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at the NRW. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at New Release Wednesday. And of course, this is YouTube. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Because you should, man. Just do it.